I've been single for 4 years now since I got divorced. I tried online dating, speed dating, dressing up to go to the supermarket, hoping to bump into Mr. Right between the fruit stand and the cereal aisle, but it just hasn't happened. Every time I go out, I look for a decent enough man, and he's nowhere to be found. I'd like to have kids one day. Where are all the men? So number one that I'd like to share with you is to stop looking for the man. Just stop. Don't even bother, and I'll tell you why. Hello, Patty Pat. I've been single for 4 years now since I got divorced. At first, I didn't want to be in another relationship ever, so I was fine being alone. It was what I needed. But then I started getting so lonely over the years. My home is so quiet and empty. I see everyone around me in relationships. Granted, no one really looks that happy anyways, but at least they're not alone. They have a companion or someone to help them go through life. I tried online dating, speed dating, dressing up to go to the supermarket, hoping to bump into Mr. Right between the fruit stand and the cereal aisle, but it just hasn't happened. Every time I go out, I look for a decent enough man, and he's nowhere to be found. It's so depressing. Some friends and acquaintances played matchmaker and introduced me to some of their friends, but it was one disappointment after the next. I'm getting desperate here. I'm 33 and would like to have kids one day. Where are all the men? The pandemic didn't help. I put on weight, and now when I look in the mirror, I struggle to see the woman I once was. I'm battling with my self-esteem, and it's adding to the weight of my loneliness. Patty Pat, what do I do about the unbearable loneliness and the fact that I'm starting to consider settling for someone less than what I dreamt of just to escape the fear of ending up alone? Any advice you have would be a lifeline. Thank you. Hello, Paula. Thank you so much for trusting me with this letter, with your thoughts and your frustrations, really. I can totally connect with this. A few years back, I remember being in precisely your spot, actually, the spot that you're in right now. I remember being there with the frustration of like wondering, where is he? Where are the men? Where are the good, decent men? Like, how hard is it supposed to be? So I understand and I connect with you. And actually, your story, some parts of it remind me of Samantha. If you did not see that one, she was the letter writer #1. So take a look right here to her video. I share some tips with her that I believe will be helpful to you. I do have specific tips just for you. But actually, I have a little surprise for you at the end of this video, where I actually quiz a quality man with, hey, where are the likes of you, sir? But anyway, I'll get back to that afterwards. Before I get to that, so number one that I'd like to share with you is to stop looking for the man. Just stop. Like, just don't even bother. And I'll tell you why. The probability of you being in a spot and the right man being in that same spot on the same date at the same time, when he's available and you're available and he's emotionally available and so are you, and the odds of you, and I've been there, so I know what you're talking about when you're hoping to run into somebody in an event or at the groceries, as you were saying. The odds are extremely slim. Yes, it's possible, but it's extremely, extremely unlikely. Okay, so you cannot generate, like, there are too many factors that are out of your control. And I cannot tell you how many individuals I spoke to who told me that I found my partner when I stopped looking. Yeah, I cannot tell you, there's so many of them, and I'm one of them as well. The moment that I just like say, you know what, I quit. God, do your thing. I'm going to keep on my journey. And whenever you have someone for me, just let me know. Knock at my door. And that's exactly what happened when I was busy, living my life purpose, right? So the same thing with you. Stop looking. Stop tracking him down. You cannot find him by looking, because what will happen if you start doing that, you're going to start looking in the wrong places, being open to individuals you should have never been open to. And on top of that, you'll start ignoring red flags, okay, when they pop up. So please just stop looking. The man will find you if you get busy working, living your best life. Okay. Number two, just do the things that you love to do, okay, that you've always wanted to do, even as a little girl. Okay? So if you wanted to start dancing, start dancing. If you want to read more often, join some kind of a reading club, or a public speaking club, a storytelling club, or whatever it is, skiing, hiking, going to the gym, just do it. And you'll be surprised. You'll meet wonderful people if you're open to just receiving and giving, but really in a good environment. Join a church if you haven't done that already, or any kind of group. Take up yoga classes, whatever it is that you want to do, just do it. Okay, make yourself happy. And through that, you'll create new connections. And who knows, maybe that could lead you somewhere, right? Eventually, or through the power of a network. Sometimes you're just one separation away from, or one link away from meeting the right person. Maybe you just haven't met the right people yet. So just expand your network. If you're always in this space, well, then perhaps go to this one or try this one. Okay, just move around. Do things that are different. Number 3. So, oh my goodness, I can totally relate to your weight gain you're referring to. You mentioned here that you don't feel comfortable in your skin. You're seeing how you put on weight during the pandemic and you don't like what you see in the mirror. And it's affecting your self-esteem and it's adding to the weight of your loneliness, as you're saying. I understand this. I totally understand this. I was, again, in that situation not so long ago. Yes, it's been rough. It's been very rough, especially after the pandemic. Very important. Just start moving. Okay. What I would strongly recommend for you to do, there's so many tools. It just starts with the willingness to change something. Just take up walking. Just walking every day. I don't know your current state, if you're mobile or not, but just if you can do 10 minutes a day, start 10 minutes a day, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, just start moving, start watching what you eat, and I'm not talking about like a strict diet where you start eating celery and carrots, but really just reduce. If you would have like a full pizza, or maybe start with half the pizza, or if you would have 3 slices, go to 1.5, but just do what you love, but just try to create a caloric deficit. Okay. And obviously consult a doctor if you can, but they're just tools. You can do workout videos. If you just make a search on, let's say, Google, YouTube, there are videos, free resources everywhere that you can use that will help you. Once you get really to the point where you're just fed up, you don't like to be in your own skin, look around and start making small changes every day, and it will make a huge difference for you. It's going to increase your self-esteem, increase your energy level and your drive and your everything. You'll be feeling so much better about yourself that it'll come through with your energy, with your attitude as well. Okay, so I strongly recommend, not necessarily with the thought of like, okay, I need to lose weight, because that's not the right way to look at it, in my opinion. You just want to be more healthy and feel better, feel lighter. You want to be less tight in your clothes. There are tools out there. Use them. Number 4, about settling. Please, I beg you, don't settle, please. You have to make a list at the minimum of what you need to be happy and stick with it. Okay, so if whatever it is that you want in a man, if there's some things that are not acceptable or that are deal breakers, don't start letting it go, because the reason is, and please don't start ignoring red flags, because the moment that you ignore red flags, I don't know who said this, but the red flags that you ignore will be the reason why you're leaving someone down the line. Okay, so don't ignore red flags, communicate, just don't settle. And you're still so young. You're 33 years old. You have plenty of time to meet the right person. Do not rush. Just enjoy your youth. Enjoy it. And speaking of which, number 5, please, Boundaries in Dating by Dr. Henry Cloud and Dr. John Townsend. How healthy choices grow healthy relationships. It just has everything you possibly need to know before you start dating someone. A complete game changer. I wish I would have read this book years ago. I always say this, but it's true. Like, this is one book that I wish I would have read before starting to date. It gives you the formula on how to date properly, to really minimize the damage that could be caused to you through falling on the wrong partners, because sometimes it's a numbers game. You have to date. You have to know how to date, how to set boundaries, how to protect yourself. Very, very, very important. Okay, so if you have not read this book yet, read it. I strongly, strongly recommend it. So, as promised, since you were asking, I felt your frustration, like, where are all the good men hiding? Well, I don't know. I'm not a man. I cannot answer that question, but I did turn to a wise man who was actually a very good quality man. And I said, hey, where are the likes of you? help a sister out here. And I asked him to give us some information on this subject. So I asked him, where are the good men hiding and what are these men looking for in a woman? So brace yourself. Are you ready? Number one, he said, you need to be a good woman to find a good man. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. So just working on being the best version of yourself. Number two, she has confidence in herself and positive and feminine energy. Okay. So that I could see that they would find that very attractive. The number three was she has her affairs in order. Like a good quality man will want to have a long-term relationship. So anything unfinished that can be seen as an obstacle for a good man will be a turnoff. Okay, so you have to, if you have some loose ends from your past, you need to handle them. She needs to be ready to start moving forward, okay, not back and forth, no wishy-washy. And he also said that she needs to be in peace with herself and know what she wants so that she can take her place, and that she can support that good man. Then he also mentioned that she needs to love herself enough to be able to share that love with someone else. Okay, he said something that's interesting, but I like that. She needs to be able to trust her intuition. He's looking for a woman who can make decisions, and her yes is a yes and her no is a no. So she has a word. She's a woman of her word, as someone loyal, like not somebody who can be swayed, if ever some Romeo shows up with a six-pack or something. So he wants somebody for the long run. Okay, and then to the question, can you find a good man in a grocery store? He goes, very unlikely, but he recommends to go where they are. Okay, so where people are, where men are deciders or decision makers, leaders. You could find them in a mastermind group, in a church, in a public speaking organization, in an adult class, if you're taking evening class, wherever there could be people who want to advance in life or who want to grow, they have ambitions, who are doing volunteer work, serving, entrepreneurial spirits, all kinds of those clubs there where they have people who are trying to grow. So that's where you could find a good man. Okay, I'm not talking about like the nightclubs or at the restaurant necessarily. Yes, you may find them there, but the point is the odds are you'll find them when you'll find like-minded people. And then the last one he mentioned is a good man will not be attracted to a superficial woman, like a woman who just focuses on the physical attributes of a man. Like sometimes the women were very specific, 6'2" and a six-pack and some big arms or whatever. So it's like a turn off because then they know sometimes illness can happen, life happens, and then what's gonna happen when the man goes to belly? Is a woman gonna ditch him for a younger man, right? Technically, if it's somebody who's very, very superficial, that may be a turn off for the man. He just needs to feel like the love is real and that you're not with him because he has money or power or whatever, but just because of the individual himself. Those were the tips I received from my friend. Thank you, friend. So just to recap, Paula, I think you're doing very well. You seem to be patient. You're just getting really, really frustrated, I can tell, and you're just done waiting. So what I would like to encourage you to do is, number one, stop looking for the man. Stop searching. Okay? Get busy with your own life. He will find you as a consequence. Number two, do the things that you want to do, that you always wanted to do. Okay, do them now. Number three, get moving, do exercise, watch what you eat, just take it 1 pound at a time, but you can do this in a healthy way. You want to bring yourself to loving your body, being comfortable in your own skin. Number four, do not settle. Please don't settle. Wait, it will be worth the wait. Trust me. And number five, read the book, Boundaries in Dating, if it has not been done yet. And also I had recorded a video on the subject called How to Set Boundaries and Keep Them, right there, where I shared a little story about boundaries, so it may be helpful to you. And of course, all the nice tips that my friend shared that you can watch if you rewind this video. So I hope that was helpful to you. And yeah, let me know, drop me a line in the future if ever you meet Mr. Right, or if ever you change your perspective, please do share, stay connected. And dear friend at home or work or in the car, wherever you are, thank you for watching. I hope you found this was helpful, and please share your wisdom. So if you have anything you'd like to share with Paula, with something that worked out for you or something that resonated with you, please don't hesitate. drop your comments in the section below. All right, so I'll see you in the next video.